makes my skin cold. Yeah, easy. Nice. Sweet, thank you. First episode, first podcast ever.
Yeah, here we go.
You good? What do you think about listening, Gab? I want to hear your thoughts on like talking into the mic and then having headphones, because you haven't done podcasts where you've had your headphones on.
Is this what they normally sound like when you were editing them back in the day? Were they this, like you can hear everything?
It's actually really trippy because when I used to do every episode with headphones on, and then we went to the point where we got a producer and I took the headphones off, and you have to like completely recalibrate.
Really?
It's quite dodgy.
Do you think we get headphones for back in Melbourne, mate?
I think we should get headphones for back in Melbourne.
Do you not have headphones?
No. I think headphones are essential. Well, we have headphones, but we have one pair.
Guys, comment down below if you want to see the podcast with headphones.
They should do that. Should we get started?
I think we should, mate.
I feel like we should do an intro like we spoke about.
Yeah, let's do one, bro.
This is the 9 to 5 Fitness Podcast. You're in the Gold Coast listening to 91.5.
91.5, Smooth FM.
Smooth FM. And then Kaylin can like edit in some music. And so. Anyway, we've got a huge episode today. I'm joined by Anabolic Gabe. I'm joined by Anabolic Annabelle.
Hello.
Hello. Firstly, Gab, how are you? How did you sleep?
Mate, I'm absolutely fantastic because I know this is absolute D-Day today.
D-Day.
We got some episodes to do. We're going to be caffeinated, but I am ready for it. I've been priming. It's like a powerlifting meet. I've been like priming my body and my mind for this one. So I slept super well. I'm feeling super well. But no one cares about that. Everyone cares about how you slept, how you are, but also that for Annabelle.
I slept very well, and I feel really good, and I'm very well. Annabelle, how are you? How did you sleep?
Good. Went to bed at 9. Supposed to wake up at 5:30.
Oh.
Watch the sunrise.
What happened?
Looked out the window. Looked a bit cloudy.
It was pretty cloudy this morning.
Went back to sleep, but then I saw pictures on someone's story, and it was amazing.
So we should have gotten up.
Bit of a stitch up there.
Just chatting to your mic a bit. Yeah, good stuff. It was a little bit like that because I think we're all going to get up and watch the sunset as a team. You know, I think that's a nice ritual to do before a podcast.
I feel like it's just a very Gold Coast thing to do.
It's hugely Gold Coast.
Wake up at ungodly hour, go to the beach.
There's so many people around.
People already awake.
In the Gold Coast.
Compared to Melbourne.
Like early in the morning.
It's overall a very different lifestyle to Melbourne, I think, Louis. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Melbourne, you wake up late, you go to bed late, you're going out, you're going to probably revs, you're drinking alcohol instead of an acai bowl, you're vaping instead of breathing air.
Breathe air.
I don't know, just like good activity, substitute it with a bad activity, and that's Gold Coast versus Melbourne.
Yeah. Bang on. I totally get that and I see that. You don't live here, do you, Annabelle?
No, I live in Brisbane. But only an hour away. I love to travel down. Eventually, I live at the Gold Coast, hopefully.
Really? You're going to move
here?
here?
Maybe October when my lease is up.
Ooh.
Just because, the culture and the lifestyle is a lot easier with my sort of fitness content and that sort of thing.
Is it much different to Brizzy, Gold Coast? Because I feel like I connect them. I feel like same thing, cut and paste, but apparently it's not. You guys don't have beaches.
No. Well,
useless. What's the point?
We have a bay.
But we have a bay.
Yeah. Sewage output.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Get what you get.
Yeah.
We have a river, the Brown Snake.
Oh.
It's not a very nice connotation to it.
That's what everyone calls it.
What is it? Is it brown snake because it's yucky?
It's just a long river because it's brown and muddy.
I'm not swimming in that, lads.
Although apparently aliens want to come out with a packet of just brown snake lollies. You know how you get
aliens?
Yeah, isn't that the
Allens?
Allens, yes.
Good.
Instead of having all the different colours, they just want to do brown one.
Fair enough. Well, this is dribble at the moment. Annabelle, we want to hear about you. This is your episode, so congratulations. Yes. You've made it onto the NDF podcast. We want to hear about you and like your story. Let's get started kind of with your story. Obviously, you like lift weights and stuff. You are on social media.
Yep.
Take us back to maybe just finishing school and then right through to now in a brief synopsis.
Right. So I graduated in 2017. I'm from Toowoomba originally. If you don't know where Toowoomba is, it's about an hour inland from Brisbane. So biggest inland city in Australia, bit of a fact for you. But moved down to Brisbane after school to study. I was studying a year of Bachelor of Exercise Physiology and then went to college for 2 years. It's when I met Prime Train.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
we live with him.
Okay. Crazy.
Yeah. have known Prime Train for 4 or 5 years, so seen a lot of him. And then after college, moved out by myself. Was 2020, so that's when peak COVID hit.
Ooh.
Gyms shut, couldn't really do anything. Just coming off a breakup as well, so got broken up with, pretty heartbroken. So moved back to Toowoomba. Mum came and rescued me. Went back to Toowoomba for 2 months, and that's when I kind of switched, was heartbroken, didn't really eat too much, and within 2-3 months I lost quite a bit of weight. Not unhealthy, but I saw a little bit of results, and then I kind of just was like hooked from there. Then I got to the point where, okay, I'm not eating very much, I'm not losing weight anymore, I'm not gaining any muscle, kind of what do I need to do? And then the pandemic kind of eased a bit, moved back to Brisbane, and that's when the love of fitness kind of started. I went to a group gym, and being surrounded by all these awesome people kind of shifted my mindset to wanting to lift and be more functional with my training rather than just training to look a certain way. Then I got really into that, changed a couple gyms, sparked my interest of actually coaching whilst I was studying, just as a little job there. So studied my Cert 3 in fitness, and then became just over a year, trained up, learned a bit more about coaching, got some experience behind me. Then came to start of 2022, end of 2021, I started sharing a bit more fitness content on Instagram, started TikTok, start of 2022. And then, just last year, everything kind of blew up and changed. So being fortunate enough to be able to step back from actually working at the moment, and social media has become probably 75% of my income, which is pretty cool.
Gab and I were talking about that in terms of like how much more of an advantage do you have over anyone else doing social media if you can make it your full-time job, because it takes so much time.
So much more freedom as well, not having to schedule your life around work. You can kind of work around your life, which is cool.
The group fitness stuff, it's probably something we might have even bashed a little bit in the past, Gab, without actually thinking of like a whole like subsection of fitness people who can
probably
like,
80% of people
can get involved. But like there's a huge benefit to it. What kind of benefits did you find to the group fitness thing? Was it like F45 or?
No, I did FitStop, and then obviously I'm at Atora training now as a coach, and sort of training there. Number one thing, it takes the effort out of having to think about what you're going to do. Obviously, you just walk in, there should be a coach greeting you and then make you feel comfortable already, and then you just look at the screen, you're like, oh, okay, cool, that's what I'm doing that day. Again, if you've never been to a gym before and you don't really know good form and stuff, there's someone constantly looking over you, making sure you are lifting correctly. Especially when you start to go heavier, that is definitely a crucial thing to make sure you're doing it right. And then also an amazing way to meet people. I've met, I think 80% of my friends now I've met through the gym, which is pretty cool.
Would you recommend it for people starting out? Like, is that, I mean, is it how you started in the gym?
It's what definitely sparked my interest for sure. Especially even if you've moved to a new city and you're kind of wanting to reach out to friends and stuff, starting at a gym is number one easiest way to make friends, especially if you are sort of into that, finding like-minded people rather than going out drinking and finding people there because you're similar, your interests may not align. And
growing up in Toowoomba, is that how you pronounce it? Toowoomba. Is it predominantly farming? T-bar. Is it predominantly farming?
No.
No, you said it's the biggest city.
No, it is a town. There is farmers kind of on the outskirts of Toowoomba, and then you go more towards Dolby, Roma, that sort of thing. But all the borders who have properties out west.
Good. Never eat soggy wheat bix.
Yep. They all came to school in Toowoomba.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. I mean, I think someone who comes from Toowoomba and then you got 100,000 followers is a little bit rattling at times. Like, there's a lot of people. It's probably the whole town population.
It's weird though. I'd never think of it as actual people. I kind of just think of it as a number. And then you only really start to think and realize how many people it actually is when you get recognized or when, for example, my dad, he said to me the other day, he's like, oh, Ronnfeldt, that's right. Are you related to Annabelle? He's like, yeah, that's my daughter. And that was just,
that's crazy.
Yeah, wild thing. Or what I was saying before, I did the run at the Mooloolaba Tri on Sunday, and the amount of just background noise, go Annabelle. Like,
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
I don't know who you are, but thank you so much.
That's crazy. It's such a good feeling.
I want to ask about Revenge Arc Annabelle. Yeah, it sounds
true.
I think, we kind of skipped over that, but it sounded like a pretty cool version of Annabelle.
Yeah.
So was it that kind of sparked this, like the fitness Annabelle, or was it like I'm going to show him or I'm going to show myself, or just like a natural sequence of events that kind of form this Annabelle? Like, talk us through that a little bit.
Sorry to interrupt this fantastic episode. We've got a few sponsors we want to chat about, Gab.
I believe we do, mate. Who do we want to chat about first?
Whoop. I actually love Whoop.
Me too.
I've been sleeping well lately.
Me too. I've been sleeping like an absolute baby up here in the Gold Coast, and luckily I can track all the insights on my Whoop.
The insights are incredible. You got sleep, you got strain, you got recovery. The 3 metrics that you really need.
What I've also begun to notice is that the heart rate data is so much more accurate. So if you're a bit of a watch nuffy, heart rate nuffy, you'll know that watches aren't particularly accurate because they use the same technology that Whoop uses, but instead of 10 times a minute, Whoop uses 100 times a minute. So it's far more accurate for my runs. At least I can see my heart rate data so much better. Sleep metrics are unparalleled, and I can just get a really good gauge of how I'm feeling and if I'm ready to perform for the day.
Yeah, they are incredible. It's honestly changed my training and my life. If people want to pick one up, where should they go?
Well, it's a bit of competition here. They can pick whoever they like more. They can pick you or I, mate, because in each of our bios, you'll find a link there either for Louis or myself, and you will get it a little bit cheaper. It's a big investment into yourself, and you can support whoever you want on that. Once you do that, make sure you join the Whoop group. We have over 100 people in there. We're active in the chat. We can all compare sleep. It's just a pretty epic group of people investing into themselves and wanting to better themselves on a daily basis.
Absolutely. You are looking as bald as a cat at the moment, mate.
I hope that's a good thing, mate.
I'd say it's a good thing. We're using Manscaped.
Are we?
Heaps.
On this trip, we've travelled up here, mate. I've exclusively brought up Manscaped jocks.
You've been the biggest advocate for Manscaped jocks.
Biggest fan of Manscaped jocks. If you have a pair, not the old ones, I'm talking the new ones, the new $50 per pair. I can't believe we're spending our Manscaped breed on the jocks because it's not even their main item. It's just the one I like the most.
It's honestly one of the, yeah.
What do you like the most out of it?
I mean, the obvious one's the Lawnmower 4.0. I bring it with me everywhere. We're obviously in the Gold Coast, and I've brought it with me just to make sure everything's tip-top.
I actually used mine yesterday, not for like the traditional areas, but just for the legs, give them a bit of a clip because we are getting quite a bit of colour up here in the Gold Coast. So I want to make sure my legs are looking nice and skinless and vascular and muscular, and they tan more efficiently if you have no hair on them.
It's very true. You are looking all of the above, mate. If people want to pick anything up from Manscaped, you can use code NTF, get 20% off?
And free shipping,
And
mate.
free shipping.
Yeah.
We've been doing that for a while.
You suddenly have forgotten.
Yeah, but we'll make it. I reckon this is the best studio we've ever recorded in.
Literally the best studio. We've walked in and we're like, this is better than our studio at home.
Literally, like the sound is incredible. The vibes are up.
We have headphones.
We have headphones, 3 of them, 4 of them.
There's cool lights, cool cameras. We have an audio technician here. It's absolutely unbelievable. So if you guys are recording anything really up here in the Gold Coast, and we couldn't recommend Poly Studios more.
Poly Studios is honestly incredible. They do photography stuff as well, like modeling and all that. So honestly, get down, check it out. And if you're starting a podcast, this is a great place to start.
You'll feel at home, get it done. You need a good environment. Don't just get your iPhone with a bit of a tripod there and speaking into voice memos. Like, invest into your setup and do it properly. And this is the place to do it properly.
Awesome. Back to the episode.
I think because I was in that relationship for a year and a half, coming out of it, I just threw everything into myself and wanted to work on myself. I think a lot of girls do that, especially when they are coming out of a long-term relationship. And by all means, it's not a bad way to go about it because you're obviously giving that person so much for an extended period of time, and then all of a sudden you can give 100% to yourself and just work around your schedule. But again, you got to be careful not to become obsessed with it, because I definitely was that point after probably about 8 months after I kind of got into the fitness thing. I track calories now, but I became overly obsessed with it. I would stop eating out just because I couldn't track it. And then obviously my social life and that went down, and I would just found myself sleeping, training, eating.
Almost a bit robotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that's good though, because you're putting all this like energy and all your effort and time into that relationship, and once you're out, you realize I've got all this spare time now, and I've just expended all these resources into something that's essentially doesn't exist anymore, and you're like, I need to put it back into myself.
Yeah.
Sure. I find that like it seems pretty common for women is like that affirmation of becoming like losing weight and getting skinnier. It's like that positive reinforcement, because obviously you see results if you are in a calorie deficit the whole time. It's obviously like hugely negative for your mental health as well. Did you find that?
Yeah, it was amazing seeing results, but again, you get to that point where your body has adjusted to that amount of calories, you're feeling weaker, and you just got to realize what do I do now? You're not going to gain muscle if you're eating that little. You're not going to get stronger. So the only thing is to actually fuel your body properly so you can. And I noticed the most results when I started to eat more, which is wild to say. And I think that's a very misconstrued theory about food and girls specifically. Like, oh, I'll eat more, I'll get bigger. Well, no, your body will actually use those calories in the gym and to make you gain muscle.
What helped you adjust that mindset from like trying to be as skinny as possible to like actually trying to be healthy and like build size and be strong?
Definitely shifting your mindset from looks-based goals to performance-based goals. Like I started lifting more in the gym, going up a certain amount of kilograms in a specific weight, like squat, deadlift, that sort of thing. And then when you focus on that, all of a sudden you're progressing in the looks-wise as well, and you don't notice it. And then one day, like, oh, wow, I didn't even realize that I was progressing physically as well as strength.
Just a quick sidestep here. I think you might be able to bench, or not bench, but squat and deadlift more than Louis.
Oh, easily, mate.
What kind of numbers are we talking?
Without doubt.
I think squat, I've done 110.
Oh, I've got it covered there. I did my back when I did it, but I think it was about 140.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, like I literally pulled my back. I was out for a good year. I'm not joking. Almost needed surgery. Yep. Deadlift.
Done 120.
Yeah, got it there as well.
What's your biggest? I swear I've never seen you deadlift, Louis.
There's videos of me deadlift.
It's like Tom's 2K that doesn't exist. He's 6'11", 2K.
Strava was down that day.
Yeah, the Strava service didn't work and the fit file corrupted.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. What about the social media stuff? When did it blow up for you, and what blew it up? Or if it did blow up, was it a gradual climb?
I feel like Instagram definitely was a gradual climb. I was at 10K, started 22, and then obviously just hit 100K this year, so in a year. And then
That's
TikTok.
crazy, by the way.
Well, speak for yourself.
Yeah, but I'm
He's full-time superstar, Annabelle, obviously.
And then TikTok, I posted one specific video.
Go on, do the dance. Do the dance.
So what's this dance you guys keep talking about? Like, what is it?
Australia dance.
Do you know that, I come from a land down under?
I come from a land down under.
I don't know the dance.
And they dance to it.
And it was just kind of girls dancing in the bikini.
Oh, okay.
We'll clip this up for a short. So
No,
don't worry.
Max will have fun making this one.
Max, you'll love this one.
Anyway, in 3 days I got like 30K.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
It's handy.
That was, and then I just kind of kept pumping them out. And
Keep dancing, Queen. You keep going when you get that positive
the funny
reinforcement.
thing is I can't dance. So.
Oh, you danced pretty good on that one. I saw it.
Yeah.
What about like from the social perspective, like the rewarding side? Obviously, you're inspiring a lot of women and stuff. Is that like why you do it?
Yeah. To help girls, because obviously I've been through all these different stages, and if I can help someone kind of leapfrog the shit parts, that's amazing. And because I know, like you said before, like stepping into the gym for the first time, like kind of being a bit intimidated, if I can give someone a workout and show them how to do good form and everything like that, just takes the pressure off them, like starting their fitness journey.
Yeah.
Like I had terrible form when I started because I was just guessing it for myself. So if I can lend a hand to someone who can't afford a PT or group fitness, then that's, yeah.
I feel like it's really delicate stages early on for anyone in the gym, but especially women. Like I feel it's particularly like early on you can either go one or two ways. You either start like trying to starve yourself and get as skinny as possible, or go that direction of like trying to actually build size and build muscle.
That's another, everyone, well, a lot of girls also think that, oh, I don't want to lift that heavy or because I'm going to get bulky. Like, I mean, my arms, I'm struggling. I struggle to put size on my arms, but it's not from a lack of trying. But
well, like as you've always said, Gab, it's like you don't put on muscle by mistake.
Yeah, they think they're going to do one bicep curl and turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Like, can we just, with Annabelle here, can we just debunk that? Like, you're not going to do one gym session overnight. You're Ronnie Coleman.
I think people underestimate how hard it is to actually build muscle as well. It doesn't happen from doing one bicep curl. Yeah. Let's
get into like the truth for women in the gym, kind of dispelling myths and stuff. Start with nutrition. What's a day of eating look like for you, roughly?
So again, I do track my macros, but I'm not strict with them. So I mainly just do it to make sure I hit my protein and that I'm eating enough, because obviously you can't aim to progress if you're not fueling your body properly. So again, don't go off. Actually, I'm not even going to say the number of calories because then people just
there's no point.
It completely. But yeah, breakfast. I've got a lot of what I eat in a day, so you can.
They can check it out on socials.
Yeah.
Just scroll through the dancing.
If you're a visual, that.
Yeah.
So just make sure bit of protein, bit of carbs, a little bit of fat in every single meal. Veggies.
Give us like your go-to favorite, iconic, signature Annabelle Ronnfeldt, like anabolic protein meal. Like you're just whipping it up. This is what you're recommending to girls out there starting in the gym.
Just pick your protein, pick your carbs, so rice, pasta, whatever, and then veggies or salad. So a good go-to for me is just a classic salad. You can either do tuna, chicken, beef mince, and then rice, pasta, quinoa, a carb, and then load your salads up. Pick a fat. You can do feta, avo, anything. Chuck it in. Good to go.
Louis' favourite is out of the packet.
Anything out of a packet.
And I've heard his second favourite one is a can of tuna and a hard-boiled egg. Isn't it, Louis?
Big way. If it has a vegetable, I tend to stick away from it, mate.
Yeah. Any sort of colour.
Any kind of colour, yeah. Ideally red meat, and that does me. I can't do it. I don't have time for it.
Tomato sauce.
Yeah, plenty of tomato.
That's fruit, isn't it?
No time to grab a bag of lettuce, put your hand in, chuck it in a bowl.
What about for someone who's starting off? Thanks, guys. Rip into me, fellas. Thanks, team. It's all good. Yeah. Someone who's starting off, we'll stick with nutrition. Getting into the gym, they need to up their protein. What kind of areas are we going for? Get your pens out, girls and guys.
Like numbers?
Nah, not numbers. Like what kind of like food and stuff? I know like we just kind of went through that. But like let's say like a really rough structure for someone who's starting out in the gym.
Right. Well, to get your protein in breakfast, yogurt has a lot of protein in. I think people underestimate how much protein is actually in yogurt. Peanut butter, but that's also heavy in fat. So just peanut butter and avo and that sort of things. Just be mindful. If you're not wanting to track, even getting a scale out and measuring those calorie-dense foods can go a massive way into keeping your calories low, because like chia seeds, peanut butter, avo, that sort of thing, there's your sneaky calories. Even dressing as well, if it's heavy cream. So yeah, if you don't want to track, just measure a couple things and your calories will come down like 300 calories a day. It's crazy. And yeah, for breakfast, just anything really. Like, just make sure you're eating all food, all the macros.
Eat it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like avocados.
The avocado
Don't
toast
you have
guy.
a bit of beef with avos?
Yeah.
No, not a bit. Nothing.
It's his thing.
Yeah.
You're the enemy
Yeah.
to all these people. Anyway, training. Let's get into training.
Yeah.
What about like from a training perspective? Like pretty intimidating going straight into a gym. And I feel like that's why a lot of women especially don't go to a gym. Is like it's actually quite intimidating, especially here in the Gold Coast.
Especially
You got all the
gyms.
tatted up big roidy boys floating around.
I was intimidated.
I was terrified. I can't imagine being like a smaller girl who's
First of all, if you are really scared of people watching you, just go in a baggy t-shirt and just because I feel like a lot of guys are less likely to look at you if you're covered up. But then again, if you do want to wear what you want, then go for it. You just have to kind of be in your own lane. And again, not that many, less people are staring at you than you think. Usually if you go into the gym, everyone's kind of just doing their own thing, focusing on themselves. But go in with a plan as well. If you know what you're doing before you go in, you can just hit your exercises out and go, especially if it's in a new gym. If you try and stick to one area or do exercises that you can kind of stay in one area of the gym, it's a lot less intimidating because you can kind of set yourself up and then just stay there for 50 minutes, an hour.
What helps with intimidation? Like, is it just knowing what you're going to work out with? Have you found that helps? Like, sorry, what like session you're going to do, not just going in without an idea?
Yeah, especially if you don't really know how to structure workouts or not confident with making up exercises yourself, either following a program from an app or someone who's posted one online or anything like that. Because they usually have videos demonstrating how to do the exercise as well, which is cool.
And like I know there's a lot of girls out there who like posting like flamboyant kind of, perhaps glute exercises that aren't all that effective. Would you have like a good rule of thumb for like being able to filter out which ones are effective so not just picking a random Instagram workout, but actually picking one that'll do something for you, like do bits for you?
Just stick to your basics. Just do normal compound movements. You don't need to sprinkle sparkles on it. Just do your hip thrusts, do your RDLs, deadlifts, just do the main compounds and you'll be fine. It's just work until your failure and then you'll be surprised with what happens.
What about getting hit on in the gym? What do you think about that? Guys hitting on girls.
I've been pretty fortunate enough because I do train in sort of a group gym, not a commercial gym. I haven't found it too much. I do remember back in the days though when I was doing kind of an app and stuff, it is always a bit weird when someone comes up to you and be like, oh, like what do you train and stuff? I'm like, I just lift.
Yeah, just lifting, just out here lifting.
Do stuff. Please go away.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever hit on anyone in the gym, Gab?
I'm too scared, honestly, to talk to girls even outside of the gym. I couldn't imagine just because like we've both got to go to the gym. I don't want to make it awkward for the. Oh, it's honestly the most frightening thing for me. So
yeah, talking to girls is scary. Got any tips for him, Annabelle?
Specifically in the gym.
Nah, just in general. We'll take
asking
any help.
for a friend.
We'll take any help we can, to be honest.
Yeah.
Try not to be too forward when you are.
In my notes of 152 things not to do.
Yeah.
Ask how she is.
That's a good start.
Yep. Just
ask them a question that they can
days.
respond to something. Not
like
just
even
a
if
statement.
you respond with something that sparks a conversation rather than saying, "Oh, you look good." Like,
yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Also, like if you perhaps my friend, he's in a circumstance where he sees a cute girl in the gym, right? Yeah. So, like, and I want to ask that girl out. I want to get to know her, like get to know her personality and whatnot. Perhaps over like a coffee or something. What would be the best way to approach that girl in the gym? Is it to find her Instagram and to DM her after, or is it to,
I feel like it's a bit creepy if you never speak to her and you suddenly know who she is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe go up to her.
Like during her, like you got to hold our hand through this, Annabelle. Like, because I've heard wait till she's done her workout, but also don't like follow her into the car park, There's a bit of subtlety to it.
I reckon you should follow her.
She kept running faster, so I just ran faster too.
Running race.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Okay, I just won't talk to her then.
Looks like
Maybe don't let her catch you staring at her throughout the whole
the old
shoot.
tripod.
See, I look through 3 different mirror angles. I look through like my Snapchat. She ain't catching me ever do that.
Have you seen that one? It's like when you get caught by the tripod in
Oh.
2023. Oh, no
No,
good.
just go up to her.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
ask how she is.
Yeah, like not during a set. Maybe she's resting between
when
a
she's
set.
resting.
But
Yeah.
then what's he say after he asks how she is? Asking for a friend.
Depends on what she said. Yeah, good thanks.
Right, that's good.
cool.
Having a fun workout. I can picture that's exactly how to go for me.
Not getting much here.
I don't know. I don't go to commercial gyms. I don't know.
Well, we don't either. We have our own.
Yeah, I know.
That's the
Well,
benefit.
step 1, get out of your house.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm king of awkward social interactions.
Nice.
Once someone came up to me and I was walking like, in Richmond, like that busy area at night.
Yeah.
He goes, geez, you're pretty nervous in real life. Mate, because I am. There's like
someone said that to
15 people screaming my name and following me and shit. Oh God, that's right, I'm nervous. I haven't even had a beer yet. Anyway, this is the Annabelle Ronnfeldt podcast,
cool.
and she's
Yeah.
trying to help me with my social awkwardness.
Yeah, well, that's all right. We just go up and say hi is the words.
Yeah.
What about do you track? I know you get a lot of questions surrounding that. Do you track your calories? I know we've touched on it, but can you give us a bit of a
I
rundown?
do. I use MyFitnessPal. I get
Yep.
that question a lot. And it's easy because you can just scan the barcode. And it's easier if you make your meals simple. Just stick to whole foods, that sort of thing. I don't snack as well. That's also a big thing that kind of lets me stay on track. I kind of just lean towards kind of 4 meals, like breakfast, lunch, afternoon snack, and then dinner. And then, yeah.
I feel like the snacks can get you as well.
Oh,
yeah.
mate.
Because horrible macronutrient profiles don't fill you up, but they'll have the same calories as a normal meal.
Even for gut health as well, I get a lot of questions about bloating and stuff. With snacks, especially protein bars and that sort of thing, they're terrible for your gut.
Yep.
Like, I bloat every single time I eat them, so I just stay away. Just stick to your basics and you.
Yeah, it's tough because like for Louis and I, they're so convenient, but probably not the best thing to like digest. And we have 0 gut health left because we're having 10
My gut
protein
is-
bars a day.
My gut is rooted, but it works. What about cheat meals? Do
Yeah.
you get involved in the cheat meal?
Um,
A cheat meal. It's a weird concept.
I don't eat out that much. Okay, well,
What about
I
the
do
other?
indulge in odd Uber
Hang on,
Eats.
that's not what I fucking noticed.
Okay, I do go around with the GYG and the grilled a little bit.
Yeah, keep going.
What else? 10K calorie day with Annabelle Ronnfeldt.
We should do a mukbang. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
I can track grilled and GYG though, so that's why I tend to lean towards those two. So if I do, I allow like sufficient calories in my day. But again, if I feel like something's sweet, I'll just eat it.
Do you have Nando's in Brisbane?
Yeah, it's not very good though.
Okay, cool.
Oh, we quite like Nando's.
Yeah.
What about adding value on social media? I feel like you really add value, which is something we absolutely love. Like, I think that's been a big thing we've trying to promote, or like we try to do, is actually add value through our social media, not just gain followers for the sake of, having followers.
Yeah.
Have you found that to be the best form for your content? Is adding value?
Yeah, for sure. Especially trying to go away from what you think will do well. Even if it isn't necessarily what you want to do, you're like, I've seen this doing well, I'll just do what everyone else is doing. I feel like your followers can kind of see through that a little bit if it's not organic. So if you want to do something, just post it, but give the audience something that they can kind of take from it. Because if it's just a photo, you're like, cool, just scroll on.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the best way to build a community as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome. It's so cool when I see girls resharing their workouts and tagging me and that they've done a workout that I posted. Yeah,
there's nothing better.
awesome.
I think that's something that all 3 of us have, especially you now, Louis, with you're getting spammed with the running stories and whatnot. Like, you're getting your own little running community. Obviously, I got like the powerlifting, power building, and Annabelle's got her like group of like probably female community, I imagine, of like girls killing their workouts and whatnot. And like from what I've noticed, at least, like that is what separates like a lot of female influencers like that do provide value online and have these little communities, and that can often translate into like being able to monetize their audience because they're actually providing value and trust your information, and you know, you can have a workout program and brands kind of believe in you to market things. And
yeah, so you've got a predominantly female following. I know if you blow up on the back of, you know, a dance TikTok, like you're going to gain a lot of male followers. So how did you go from transitioning from a largely male following to a female following?
I think back on what we said before, it's just about providing value. And usually if you provide that sort of value, only girls can really take away from it and want to keep listening and gaining more knowledge. And predominantly guys, they kind of just follow you for looks. And then as soon as you start posting more information or content, they're like, oh, okay, I don't really want to listen to that anymore, and go away, which is great for me.
Oh, like so good. I don't think, if you're not in social media, you probably don't understand, but how much more monetizable that is for you to have a predominantly female following, and how difficult that actually is to do. So it's like such a huge thing, I reckon.
Especially with brands as well, because obviously I work with majority of brands who only have female products. So if I have a female following, that's,
it's very rare as well. What is your split? Do you know roughly?
Gosh, maybe like 70%.
Yeah, strong.
Girls?
Strong.
Very strong.
Which is great.
And of those guys, do you ever, you know, sorry to put you on the spot here, but any creeps in there, weird comments, weird messages, or are they mostly respectful young gentlemen?
I do have a few, but nothing gross. They kind of just react to it or something, and I just don't reply.
Keep sending those fire reacts, mate. One day maybe she'll reply.
Boosty, I'll go for her.
Yeah, I think that's such a big thing though. Like if anyone, particularly like women listening who are looking to grow their socials, it's probably the easier route is to like get in a bikini and jump in front of the camera, which is fine. Like I'm not saying, but if you want to actually monetize it, try and like add as much value as possible.
Especially nowadays, I find brands are kind of not going for just the massive ones. They're looking at all these little ones as well. And if your content's good, then a brand will hit you up.
100%. Speaking of, what is next for Annabelle Ronnfeldt?
I've got 2 pretty big things coming soon. I think one will be May, one will be June. But yeah, I can't really say.
Thanks for that.
Thanks for bringing them up then. Yeah, great.
We'll sit on the edge of our seat till then.
One is program related, online programming. So which I've been asked about a lot. So you'll have no time to wait.
They will get some programming.
What's a competition all 3 of us could compete in where it would be like kind of close and it'd be like actually wonder who would win?
Weighted chin-ups?
No.
Yeah, how much can you weight a chin up?
20?
I could probably do 80 kilos.
You're right.
Yeah.
What about a running race? Maybe like a
2K.
3K, a 3K running race.
Well, you'd beat
I might
me.
have a shot at Gabe. I don't know if I can have a shot at you.
He's good.
I'd just beat you out of hate.
He wouldn't let it happen.
Just work ethic. Just wanting to prove something.
Just
Smells
a
like
broken heart.
work ethic. Maybe skiing.
Oh, you seem like you'd be a good skier, Annabelle.
She's giving good skiing vibes.
Yeah.
What about beer pong?
Beer pong. Oh, I'd flog you in that.
Yeah, you see, this is all just one of us is clearly better.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
Oh, well, if you guys at home have a idea of what we could compete in, let us know.
A mukbang, an eating competition.
Do it
Maybe.
a lot.
Maybe.
Because I actually don't have that big of an appetite.
Me neither.
That could be it.
Okay, well, if you guys think of anything, let us know. Annabelle, thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
You did well. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.